Welcome to Fabulosity For You, and my name is Angie. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please click the subscribe button, then click the notification bell so when I upload videos, you'll be the first to know. Like this video and make a comment. This channel is about fashion, relationship advice, and lifestyle. If this is not your first time visiting my channel, well, welcome back, my queens, and welcome to the kings out there. So tonight, it's Ratchet Wednesday! It's Ratchet Wednesday! It's Ratchet Wednesday. And you know what Ratchet Wednesday is. I am doing the review of the family Chantel, Season 5, Episode 2, and Madness Most Discreet. Okay, guys. So, before I begin, I just want to share this. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. I am having a giveaway. Okay? I'm having a giveaway for the 1,000 subscribers. Okay? And so I have not announced the rules and all of the things because I want to wait till I'm halfway there. And I am halfway there. Last time I looked, I am at 9:45. Okay? So at 9:50, Angie is going to be giving the details of the giveaway. And I am so excited. Yay! For those that are here with me for the first time, my subscribers, welcome. And for my subscribers that have already subscribed, you know I love y'all and I appreciate you guys, okay? So, I want to say this. Go get your drink of choice. Go get your snack of choice. Come back and listen to your girl, Angie, honey. I got a good review, okay? Text, email, call, send a message in the bottle, baby, and tell everybody that Angie is on the line and she's doing the review of the family Chantel. Okay, for those that are here for the first time, I do have some glasses tonight because I like to throw shade when I'm talking, okay? And tonight I wore my t-shirt. You never win when you're playing dirty, baby. You never win when you're playing dirty. And I wore this tonight because it was needed, okay? So I'm finna wipe my glasses off because I couldn't see out of them. All right. And tonight I have some water with lime, lemon and lime, because I've been talking all day, honey. And I have to keep my throat together. So let's begin. Okay, so last week, it was a doozy. I'm going to jump into this week. So, Chantel and Winter went back to their parents' place. And Chantel says she's kind of pissed about the meeting that she had with Pedro at the realtor. And she did not like Pedro's attitude. She said selling the house and dealing with Pedro is going to be harder than she expected. She said the divorce was enough, but at 32 years old and living back at home is the icing on the cake. She said she loves her parents, but guess what? They always talking. Every minute, they talking. She said, I have no alone time. And that's true. When you're used to having your own place and your own spot, and you come back to the crib with your parents, and you have it's no privacy. And so she's feeling even more down that she back in her mama house. She appreciates she has that spot to go back to, but it's like, you know, wow. And I understand that. And so Chantel's mom said having her daughters back at home is an adjustment. But it's been a pleasure to have them. Because, she's sitting there complaining about being in her mama's house and they talking and they doing what couples do that's empty nesters. But she's not thinking about, hey, they sitting up sacrificing their privacy. Because mama and daddy, they showed them in the kitchen cooking and that. But they might like to cook, but might like to walk around with no clothes on. But now they got the two baby girls back at home. But mama said, hey, she, it's a pleasure to have them. But she said that the mother feels a certain way because she know her daughter got played. She said Pedro used her daughter. She said Chantel paid for his plane ticket. When he got here, she the one on her own got the apartment. She said that she paid for, his papers to get over here. That Chantel really did a lot for Pedro. And even though Chantel is trying to move on, mama said, I don't like seeing my daughter firsthand every day upset. But she said she told Chantel from day one, this man is using you. But Chantel really believed in her husband. Chantel loved him and thought his love was true. And so right now, Chantel is down and her mother, she's feeling helpless like any other mother. You want your child to be happy. You don't like your child being used. And so it just makes her mother upset to see Chantel feeling that way. Chantel tells her family how Pedro had said, what happened at the when she went to see the real estate person. The real estate person, as I said last week, said to them, are you guys still going through a divorce? And he was like, oh no, thank God. And, that just made her feel a certain way. And Chantel said that just showed that he has not changed. And it really hurts her mother. But her mother was like, karma is a bitch, baby. But instead of saying that, and that is true, I wore my You Never Win Playing Dirty t-shirt. And I'm wearing this because Pedro played dirty and he's not going to win. And I had this t-shirt for a long time. Me and my mom together, we always used to tell people, you never win playing dirty. You never win playing dirty. That's just the way of the universe. You never win playing dirty. And so I thought this t-shirt was befitting of the subject that we're talking about. So the next day, later on that day, Chantel and the family had a yard sale. They went to Chantel's old home and they had a yard sale because next week the house was going up for sale. So they had to get everything out the house. Pedro left a lot of stuff. It showed he left shoes, clothes, his favorite gaming chair, his table. He left a lot of stuff. And so they put it all for sale. And that just showed how Pedro was playing dirty. Because that man had got what he needed. He got his citizenship. Now he able to get his mama and sister to come over. So he didn't care about nothing. He didn't care about none of that. All he wanted to do was get rid of Chantel. Because if it was me, I would have had my clothes. I would have had my favorite shoes. I would have had my favorite chair. I would have had my games. I would have had it all. But that's how that man was. You never win playing dirty. So, Chantel mama sold his favorite gaming chair for $1. So they did a script from Waiting to Exhale. If you have not seen that movie, that was a good movie. It is an old movie. But, honey, in that movie, that woman gave away all her husband stuff for $1 and then burnt it all. Okay? And Chantel had the biggest grin on her face when her mama said, listen, I sold his chair for $1. But at the end of the day, she did it legal. Because in the divorce decree, it said she can have everything in the house. All he said he wanted was his tools. Now, when he was at the real estate place last week, he bought up his chair. But, dude, you already signed the divorce papers. She don't owe you nothing. You were so in a rush to get a divorce. You didn't want to work it out. You didn't want to talk to a counselor. You was just ready to divorce and leave her. And so guess what? You left everything else. And guess what? That's your fault. And guess what? You never win playing dirty. So, when Chantel was selling everything, she started remembering how he was always playing his video games. And then when she kept calling him, Pedro, 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 he wouldn't answer her. She didn't know, did he not hear her or was he being an asshole? And I bet all my money on it, he was being an asshole. And then she said when he was ready to stop playing his games and go out, he wasn't going out with her. He wasn't going out with her. So the game chair to her was the enemy. Because in that game chair, he ignored her every chance he got. So later on that day, Pedro comes to the house with the pickup truck. And he's like, you know, she evil. I forgot to ask for my chair, my gaming chair. He said, you know, I just wanted the tools because I love my tools and I never thought that I would have the American dream and have a home. And I just really love my backyard and I just really love my tools. So he pulls up to the house and he's going through the house. He's walking through the house. He's walking through the house. And he was like, oh my God, I just love my house. I just love this house. But we wasn't married for this house because you have to work together. A big home for two people is just too much. So she wanted some children in that big house. She wanted to fill it with children. But he was like, give me 10 years. Who says that? Give me 10 years. Somebody that don't want no children with you. And so he just walking through the house. He's walking through the house. And then he goes in the backyard. He was like, this is my favorite spot, the backyard. He started remembering Chantel and him in the backyard, playing with his tools. And he says, I really feel bad about, it makes me feel guilty because I hurt Chantel's heart. Knock, 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 knock. There it is. He said out of his own mouth, he feel bad because he hurt her heart. He knew that he played Chantel. He knew he played Chantel. And so he goes into the garage and he sees his tools and he's looking around and his chair is not there. And he said it was a custom chair. It was like the flag, red, white, and blue. He paid a lot of money for it. But let me say this again. You never win playing dirty. never win playing dirty. So he puts, he's mad that his chair's gone, but he sits up and he loads all the tools and he's telling, why the tools are special to him and blah, blah, blah. How you gonna forget your favorite chair? And why would she give you the chair? Because you never win playing dirty. So, Pedro drives off and says, you know what? I'm going to go to the DR because I feel safe now to go because the divorce is settled. Before, I didn't feel safe because I didn't know what was going to happen. Because you was playing dirty. And so when you dirty, you got to hide. When you're dirty, you can't just do what you want to do. Because you don't know where your kickback going to be. Your get back going to be. You don't know when Karma Jones, karma, is going to knock at your door. When you're playing dirty. Because when you're playing dirty, you never win. And so, it talks about Pedro he gets a call and he's saying that the houses are really not selling like that because of interest rate. And Chantel is like, listen, just sell the house for whatever we can get. I don't care. And he's like, she's not thinking. She's evil. She's not thinking. She want to put all this behind her and then want to mess with my asset. I'm not going to let her do that. So he gets on his little phone and he calls Chantel. And why he called her, I don't know. Because he can talk through the realtor, he can talk to the lawyers, but this high men do, honey. Now see, she was just too calm and she was looking too good and she was too classy for him. At the real estate place. See, he wanted drama. He wanted her to be like, oh yeah, and so, and she wasn't doing none of that. But see, they come from two different cloths. At the end of the day, this gets a ghetto man, as far as I'm concerned. His family's ghetto. And so he wanted some stuff to kick off. The mama and them wanted some stuff to kick off. You know what I mean? And she didn't give it to him. So he gonna call her and aggravate her because at the end of the day, everything is settled. Then he done signed the papers. He done agree about the real estate people selling it. So what you calling Chantel for? You didn't sit up and say hello to her. You looked at her for a minute now because she was fly. She had it going on. So you did give her a glance over. But once you saw that tall drink of water, you remember what your mama said. If you had some feelings, be cold-blooded. So he started being cold-blooded, listening to his mama that ain't got nobody, sister that don't have nobody, and now you ain't got nobody. Now you selling your beautiful home. You know what I mean? That you might not have no more. You might not get no beautiful home again. Who knows? But at the end of the day, you listening to other people. And you was talking all slick with her, saying, oh yeah, I'm glad we divorced, thank God. But now you need to talk to her. And so you call her up, and you started off on the wrong foot calling her evil. And you know, if I only set a place, I could save us $25,000. Why would she trust you? Well, she couldn't trust you with her heart. So why the hell would she trust you with a house? Baby, what people don't understand, you'll never win playing dirty. You never win. And so he's sitting up saying, well, you shouldn't sell the house cheap. We don't need to sell the house cheap. You're not thinking. And she was like, listen, what do you want? And then he was like, I want my chair. What happened to, being real petty. Being a petty Betty, baby. Being a petty Betty. And so she was like, listen, The chair, she had a big smile on her face. I sold your chair. Your chair has been sold. The chair's gone. And you know, how you gonna just sell my chair? You being petty. No, baby. You the one being petty because you called her. There was no need to call her at all. You showed your true colors when she came to meet you. And if you had been decent, maybe you would have got your chair. Let me tell you something about a man, honey. They want you to act the goddamn fool, honey. They want you to give them a show. And she didn't do that. And let me tell you a secret. The best thing you can do to a man to make him feel crazy is living good. Living your best life. Not giving him what he wants, which is the drama. Because he's a drama king. And then Chantel hung up the phone. But let me tell you something about Chantel. Why did she answer the phone? Why? She answered the phone because she still loved that man. There's no reason for her to pick up the phone no more. She could have went through her lawyers. She could have went through the real estate person. She does not have to talk to Pedro no more. But us women, we always love him with our heart and not with our heads. This man didn't call her for 9 months. But she answered the phone to this man. And let him call her evil. Because that's what he was saying afterwards. You're just evil. She's just evil. No, baby. The problem is you never win when you're playing dirty. But Chantel, you know, she's thinking with her heart and not with her head. Because there's no way she should have answered the phone. So moving right along. So they go to Pedro's mama, and she's sitting up in a class learning English. And she learning English because she feel like an American man will be better because they're more faithful. They like to do chores. They just better men than Dominican men because Dominican men are womanizers. Now, this is what I have to say about his mama. First of all, you had children. She said she hadn't had a relationship in 12 years. It's been over 12 years. But the bottom line is you had 2 children by a married man. Now, you can get away with the first time saying, I didn't know this man was married, blah, 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 blah. But you can't get away with it a second time. And so, when you sit up, and I hate to make anybody, offend anybody, I'm not trying to judge people. But when you have an affair with a married man and have a baby, guess what? Karma is going to knock at your door. So you're not going to have no good relationships. You're not. It's just not going to work out for you like that. And how you get your man is how you're going to lose your man. So her mama was with this married man, and with the 90-day fiance, you would see it. She was with this married man. He found out his father was married. And not only did she have 1 baby, she had 2. So, girl, you knew better. And so, I'm sorry. His mother, I just don't like his mother. I don't like his sister. I just think his family is classless at the end of the day. So, what Chantel mama should have taught her was the difference between a man with class and the difference between a man that don't have class. And class is nothing that you can buy. Class is what you're born with. Okay? Pedro family is ghetto as I don't know what. But anyway, she's learning this English because her ex-boyfriend, Scott, has contacted her. And at the end of the day, he wants to get a second chance. And so she's learning this English. She goes to the beauty shop and she's telling her person that she can confide in, which is the beautician, her secret, Scott is coming back. And I'm like, girl, bye. Girl, why? But moving right along. So, Pedro comes to the Dominican. And he was like, I need to get away. I feel comfortable getting away because during the divorce, I didn't know what Chantel and her family was going to do. They was trying to deport me. I was like on edge. Now that I'm divorced, I'm feeling real comfortable to just go back to the Dominicans and get as far away from Chantel's family. So, Pedro meets up with his family, and I don't know if it was friends and family at this bar, and they just talking, and they like, yeah, we glad you're not with her. Chantel, she was evil, and they talk about Chantel like a dirty dog. And so they're celebrating the fact that Pedro got married. Pedro got divorced. So going back to Chantel, her mom is taking some type of self-defense lesson. So she's like this. And she says she's trying to ward off all bad vibes with her whole family, but especially Chantel. And she feels like she has to be in a position to be ready to, she doesn't condone violence, but she has to defend her family. She's going to be ready. So, her mama is funny. Her mama is a trip, okay? Meantime, Chantel and her best friend, they talking. And Chantel is like, listen, I want my last name back. I want my last name back because every time I sign my name with his last name, it just brings back bad blood and bad feeling. I cannot move on until I do this. So her mother was very excited that she decided to take her last name. And her mother once again said, Chantel, I told you 7 years ago, you should not change your name. Now, what I will say is, when you're going through a divorce and you're going through some hard times, you don't need everybody keep telling you what you should have done. You're already going through enough. But her mother meant well. So her mother and father was like, this is going to be a healing for Chantel. So, going back to Pedro family, his sister is like, man, you need to date my best friend. Now, the best friend has a history, and from 90 Day Fiance, she's always been very flirty with Pedro, and this just made Chantel very jealous and felt very insecure. And the sister's like, can you promise me that you'll date my friend? Can you promise me? And the mother was like, you need to have a lot of different flavors because you slept with Chantel. That was your first person you slept with, and you need to get out here and you need to be with other women and da 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 and da 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 da. Now, what I will say is, the family was too involved in their marriage. And he listened to his raggedy mama and sister that had no means at all. Nowhere to be found. And so, Pedro's like, I promise to go out with your friend and all this kind of stuff. Then mama drops the bomb, the secret, that Scott, her ex-American boyfriend, is coming over to the DR to visit her, that he wants a second chance. Now, for those of you that saw him and her on the 90 Day Fiance, first of all, her daughter was cock-blocking her mama. But she only did what her mama did. Her mama was cock-blocking. So them two together are toxic. And so when Scott came over the first time, you know, he had to deal with the daughter, and the mother was talking smack about him. So the daughter got all riled up and was very angry with him. And he didn't know how to deal with that because this is her daughter. Now, he not nothing because he likes young women. He had an ex-girlfriend in Colombia, and she was young. And he just, out of nowhere with her, was like, I mean, it was hard dealing with the daughter. But he was like, listen, you don't speak English. I can't understand you. This not going to work. I don't want to be with you. I'm going to give my ex-girlfriend who called me another chance. To the mother, you never win playing dirty. You sitting up in everybody's business, but can't control your business. And she was hurt. She was hurt. And he left her with no regards. He left her. He didn't even stay the whole time. He went right to see the young girl that had called him back. And then he had the nerve to call her back and say he wanted to work it out and work a amends with her. That it didn't work out with the other one. And she down with it. And so the daughter was like, he was so aggressive to me, I don't even want to see him again in life. But you never win playing dirty. And so Pedro was getting all mad, saying, I didn't know all of this because I was going through my divorce. I was into myself. I didn't realize this. And Mama was like, listen, y'all need to mind y'all business because I see whoever the hell I want to see. So now when the table's turned, it's on her. She's telling her kids what to do. But at the end of the day, she going to do what she want to do. And that's what I tell everybody, honey. Your parents done lived their lives and did whatever the hell they wanted to do. Honey, live yours. Period. Knock, 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 knock. And so, Chantel and her mama, Chantel's parents, at the end of the day, went to go see a private detective. And they told everybody, the private detective, what had went down, how she was used. And she said she want the dirt. She want to know what he did. She said at the end of the day, he gonna get what he deserves. Because you never win playing dirty. And let me tell you something. I believe that mama. That mama is gonna get him. And the dad was like, he act like he untouchable. And so, at the end, Chantel mama was like, oh yeah, Chantel gonna be upset with me because Chantel's trying to move on. And I want revenge for this man. I want him to pay for what he did. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna get him. And I believe her. But at the same time, I'm with Chantel. Sometimes with people, it's best to just, hey, settle it. If you got to give half or whatever you got to do to have a peace of mind. Because let me tell you something. For the women and for the men out here. Baby, it ain't nothing worth. Ain't nothing worth your peace of mind. Nothing. You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have a peace of mind, girl, bye. Girl, why? A peace of mind is important. And if you got to give a man half, if you got to just do what you got to do to be done, for your peace of mind, it's worth it all. And so I really don't I don't agree with her mother. I really do think he used her, but at the end of the day, hey, it is what it is. It's a lesson learned, and she needs to move on. But anyway, guys, that is going to end this review. Next week, it shows Pedro going out with the ex-girlfriend or the friend of the sister that he used to date, and it's going to be juicy. It's going to be so good. So, meet me here next Wednesday for Ratchet Wednesday. Thank you for watching my channel. I hope you enjoyed my review.
1, 2.